Welcome back to the Nickel and Dime Football Show. It's your boy Suds. I'm here with the kid Drew, the man behind the wheels of steel. It is week 1, and we're back. We made it. We made it. Thank you. Pat yourselves on the back. Pat yourselves on the back. This week 1 slate is phenomenal. So get ready, sit back, relax, kick your feet up. Welcome to the Nickel and Dime Football Show. Let's get it.
I'm so excited, man. I am out on a comedy tour, so that's why you got the different surroundings about us. But that's not going to stop me from coming and talking to y'all about football. Because guess what? It's week 1. I can't miss week 1. Who am I? We've done all these shows the last 2 years. How am I going to miss week 1? You know what I mean?
In this week 1. This week 1. Yes.
Have you seen this schedule? Have you seen this schedule?
Bro, I mean, and they're kicking it off with a high intrigue, highly publicized really game in the Cowboys and Buccaneers, which we will talk about a little bit later. But I gotta be honest with you, Drew, that's not even the meat of what this week 1 schedule is looking like.
So many good matchups, man. So we'll get into the matchups here in a second because we get to go back to our old format. You know, no more previews, no more digging deep into depth charts or anything. We get to bring you Man Crush Sundays again. We get to bring you our matchups of the week. We get to bring you in locked in our locks. You know, like I'm pumped to be here.
Yeah. I think your boy wound up taking the locks last year. Is that
you did?
Is that
it
correct?
came down to the Super Bowl, and my white Chiefs let me down. Well, we got so much fun stuff to talk about, man. Let's go ahead and get into these housekeeping notes.
Nice.
Tyrod Taylor officially gets the nod for the Texans. My man gets a shot with Houston, and I'm excited for him, man. I think it's going to be great. You know, Tyrod Taylor, my man's never been healthy for a full year. Like, that would be awesome if we could get a full, healthy Tyrod Taylor. The cards are stacked against him in Houston, but at least we might get a healthy Tyrod Taylor. This might be his last run, you know what I mean, before he has to call it a career.
Well, it definitely could be. I think like he is definitely prone to be a backup, if not a starter. Definitely because like he's got plenty of starting experience. I think what actually got him the job is when I saw him running away from Joe Tryon. I mean, he was quick. So I think that solidified it for David Culley. But listen, Tyrod, the last time you really saw him get active like that was when he took the Bills to the playoffs. I mean, it was I believe he did take him to the playoffs that year that he started, won 10 games, I believe. So he's a guy who can get it done. Now he gets another shot. Unfortunately for him, it's with the Texans. There ain't much there. So he gonna have to be the Michael Jordan of Houston to elevate that team anywhere, because I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, because a lot of his playmakers are good. He's got like 62 running backs behind him, but I don't know about the wide receiver.
Yep, full squad of RBs.
But Ravens give tight end Mark Andrews a 4-year, $56 million extension, making him the 3rd highest paid tight end in the league. And I feel like that fits. You know what I mean? He's not a Kittle, he's not a Kelsey, but he's there.
Yeah, I mean, well, as far as volume, definitely. You know, he's gotta stay a little bit. I gotta stay healthier. But I saw the debate already go off on Twitter that if Mark Andrews is getting, you know, what he got, Darren Waller is licking his chops.
He's about to break the bank, man. He's gonna be highest paid tight end when it's said and done.
I think so. Not necessarily based off of stats or current, you know, stats or anything like that, but definitely a mixture of current stats and potential. You know what I'm saying? I think
and also the market, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, if he gets paid a year or two later, he's going to get more money. You know what I mean? So,
that's the third leg.
Inflation. That's the third leg. This kind of shocked me, man. This caught me out of nowhere, man. 49ers signed cornerback Josh Norman to a 1-year deal.
The 49ers, apparently, you know, like, for as good as their defense is, there have been a lot of talk that the secondary was probably going to be the weak link. So I'm not surprised, but what I just want to make sure that Josh Norman is emotionally ready to be back after that stiff arm. I mean, the 49ers gave him a year to get it right, because if he doesn't get it right, if he can't get right mentally from that Derrick
Can't
Henry
get right.
shove from hell,
Yeah.
then they're gonna cut their losses, man. What you think about it though?
I think he is definitely in the latter part of his career. You know what I mean? Like, my man hadn't been the player we thought he was going to be coming out of Carolina and moving over to Washington.
Consistent, but not like exactly, not like what you thought he was going to be coming out, like those nasty years, latter years in Carolina.
He had so many good years, and I was all for paying him. I was like, we better pay him. And then we didn't, and I was a little sour about it. But then I saw his play, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm kind of glad we didn't."
Well, okay, so let me ask you this: though. Do you think though? Okay, let's just ask the question: had Norman stayed in Carolina, would his career would he still have elevated amongst what he actually wound up getting to?
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, that is a very good question, and that's one of those great shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You know what I mean? Because like. I feel like he would have had another year or two of like that productivity in Carolina.
Right.
But I mean, we also started going through some changes too. You know what I mean? So like different quarterbacks, different coordinators. Yeah. So who's to say he would have fit in with the scheme we brought? So
true. But maybe, and the only, I guess it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda. But it just goes to show that sometimes the change of scenery is not necessarily exactly what you need for your career, even if you're getting the money. Because Washington gave him the money.
They paid him. Yeah, for sure.
But I can't blame him though. I will never blame somebody for taking the money.
No. It'll hurt because it's not my team anymore, but you can't blame
him. I'm with you.
Also, I mean, I guess it was just a great couple of days for cornerbacks, because the Saints are going to take a chance on Desmond Trufant.
Another team that needs secondary help. They trying to do everything they can, man. Like, I am so curious to see what the Saints are going to look like, because they lost a lot and they tried to patchwork a lot. It's a lot of sheetrock in the Little Caesars Dome right now. That's all I'm saying, because they are patching holes, man. Just trying to do anything they can. And I'll be honest, Drew, I want to know what it looks like. I want to know what it looks like post Drew Brees. With Jameis Winston, so much intrigue, man.
That's why, a little foreshadowing, that's why it's one of my matchups. So we will dig deeper into that matchup, exactly what we're going to get with the Saints week 1 here in a little bit. So stay tuned. Looking pretty good for Giants fans though, because it's looking like the Saquon Barkley, Galladay, Tony, and Rudolph are all set to play week 1. Barkley got into some pads and had some contact drills, and everything looked okay there. Doesn't look like Evan Ingram's going to be ready week 1. So they're definitely going to need Kyle Rudolph ready to go to help anything to help Jones. Anything.
I mean, I could, as soon as you told me that Ingram was not going to be ready, I could hear the collective groan from New York that he is not going to play. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't understand. Like, he does not need to give New York any more fuel for hating him. You know what I'm saying? No. Call it a prediction, call it what you want, but Evan Ingram will not be there next year. No. Like, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he can play his way into staying in New York. But
that's fair.
I
don't know if he'll make the season. I don't know if he'll make it through the season.
That could trade bait. You definitely could hit the nail on the
draft pick for him or something.
Yeah, and not only that, but like, especially if Rudolph starts to play to what he probably could have been the last couple of years, had not not the injuries, things like that. But I gotta give it to your man Gettleman though. Foreshadowing. Right. Now, I always messing with but like it's just crazy to see, because like Gettleman's has some huge misses, which you can attest to, but he had the rare case of foresight shining Kyle Rudolph in the offseason, so good for him. Saquon, I want to see him play. I don't. Daniel Jones just stutters. Daniel Jones. That's all I got. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting, because they have a very interesting matchup week 1 with Denver. And Denver's defense is no slouch either. So
Yeah, that's actually, I feel like for where both of those teams are and where we think they're going to finish in their respective divisions, that's actually a good matchup because you get to see
Yeah.
which of the two is better and
Who's more
throwing the
hopeful?
week.
Who's more hopeful
Right.
as a fan base?
Exactly. Throwing the week one randomness out, I think it's a very good matchup for the both of those two teams.
I like it, man. Well, the last housekeeping note I got is kind of a doozy because this can make or break their year. TJ Watt might be holding out in Pittsburgh. He has not been
Man,
at team-related drills, and they don't know if he's going to play week one.
yeah, I knew that you were going to be all over this one, and that's my pick for defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
and I just didn't see this coming. Like, I mean, I do in the end, I
I didn't
think
hear
he'll get
about it.
paid.
Like today was like one of the
No.
first days out because he is set to make 10.5 mil this year, which if we're talking elite defensive players, pretty low.
True. I mean, very low, like very low. And I think he gives you exactly what those elite rushers are getting paid right now. You know what I'm saying? If not more than that, considering what some of these guys are getting paid. But not only that, but the week one matchup, the team that is arguably going to be at the top of your conference is week one. And if you can come out the gate and get a win, that bodes large for your season. So right. I don't understand that. Like, it's imperative that they try to get him back in the fold. In the end, do you think he plays, Drew?
I don't know, because the one thing that worries me is Steelers are notorious for not negotiating during the season. You know what I mean? They have a strong stance on, we'll deal with this. That's what the offseason's for. We don't negotiate. So the fact I'm a little like, I would like to know a little bit more. I tried to do some digging and I couldn't find too much because, Pittsburgh is a pretty tight-lipped organization in the first place. But
which is why we didn't hear about Watt.
Yeah, I mean, something's got to give, though, because this is their star player on this defense. They're going to rely heavily on because the offense isn't what it used to be. Juju's looking at being like the third best receiver when they were banking on this dude being the number one receiver.
Number one, yeah.
The offense needs as much help as it possibly can, and you're talking about just being stubborn and keeping your best defensive player off the field.
Yeah. Now, I think that like Tomlin is a guy who, if somebody's going to do something different, I do appreciate what he might be able to do, but he's got to buck that trend, or he's got to do something, especially if those who are closest to TJ really think he's going to sit this one out.
Right. I would be, if I'm Tomlin, I'm calling his agent, be like, hey. Off the record. Yeah. This isn't Pittsburgh talking. This is your boy Mike talking.
It's your boy Mike.
TJ gonna be there Sunday.
And like, as soon as that line drops, if I hear anything like this, you pay him.
I'm like
pay him.
And I'm gonna have the GM on the other phone, like, if you don't open your bank account.
I want his iPhone to ding as soon as with a deposit sign from his bank. That's what, as soon as that call goes down, because you need to pay him. I mean, and not only that, but you lost Bud Dupree, offensive line. Like, this is a key call guy for your team, and you need him. Pay him.
Because it's a big question mark on how they're going to do this season. If TJ Watt's not there, it's no longer a question mark.
Nope. I think it's that big. Like, he can. Yes,
I like it. All right, well, that's it for housekeeping notes, man. So I am so happy to say this, man. Let's talk man crushes.
Man crush Sundays are back. Let's go.
What position would you like to start with first, sir? If you don't know our man crush, if you're new, which we're thinking, we're hopefully we got some new people coming in. We're just assuming everyone knows what we're talking about. Well, one of our favorite segments from last year that we're going to keep doing this year is called our Man Crush Sundays. So we're going to go through quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense. We're going to tell you who we think has a good matchup for the week and who's got some fantasy value for you. What spot would you like to start with the Man Crushes?
I think we should let's go running back. Everybody probably tried to go running back heavy in their drafts because there aren't a lot of them. So let's start there.
All right. What you got? Who's your running back for week one of the 2021 football season?
I am going with this person because knowing them, they may not be available for all 17 games. It is Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings.
Get him early.
Got to get him early. And he's going to ball. Going against the Bengals. And while their defense is retooled, I don't know that they are deft enough, able enough to stop a running back like Dalvin Cook.
That's fair.
Going down, who you got, bro?
I kind of got the same kind of mentality, but I think he's going to play the whole season. But my man is chomping at the bit to get back on the field. And it's Christian McCaffrey, man. Carolina Panthers going up against the New York Jets. I think he's going to wild out.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see him off of a year off. And like, I don't know, he has the, like, not only does he have, is the most dynamic running back in the league, but he has the frame that you would think would bounce back because he's not super heavy. He's not super tall. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a smaller guy. He should be able to get back just by due to not having the extra weight on him. So I'm excited.
Yes, dude. I cannot wait. I think the Carolina Panthers offense as a whole, if you saw last week, Matt Simon agrees with me because every single Panther player was one of his sleepers. I did not see that coming. That had me running.
I didn't see it come. Clearly, by my reaction, I did not see that.
He didn't even prepare me for that, but that's whatever. But no, I think Carolina's going to have a good day. If we struggle, I don't think it's going to be week one. I think we do pretty good against the Jets. So I think it's safe to say. All right. Next up, let's go tight end. Because I got the birthday boy, Mr. New Contract himself. I think Mark Andrews, Monday night against the Raiders. Because I looked, and the Raiders don't have anything that really scares me at linebacker. And that's who's probably going to match up with him. So, going Mark Andrews for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, I like Andrews, especially in this particular matchup. I'm very curious on the other side. I'm not going with this guy, but very curious to see what Waller does coming out the gate.
Exactly. I'm going to say I tucked him away. I saved him for a later week, I didn't want to use that week one because he's my tight end.
Oh, yeah. I actually like this tight end, and I think they're going to get blown out, but they'll be throwing a lot. Give me TJ Hawkinson, bro. Give me Hawkinson.
There you go.
I think that I mean, who else they got? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they should be down a lot. So he should get volume, if anything, especially in a PPR league. I think Hawkinson could be a great, not only this week, but for the long haul as well, as long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I think my man could get you like 12, 13 points and maybe not even break 100 yards,
Yep.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Oh, man. I think we should let's throw right in the smack dab in the middle, right in the middle of the line. Let's go quarterback. Go quarterback.
All right. Who you got? Who's your QB1?
Who was my QB1? It is none other than the boy, Thomas Brady, coming out the gate week one.
Can I say ditto? I also think Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think Tom with that line, with what the defense is able to do week one, like he's gonna want to come out and do his thing, bro. And we're better of a stage. People are saying, like, I heard somebody say that he is a lesser quarterback than Dak Prescott. Now, maybe in age, but I don't know. We're gonna see on Thursday.
What's funny is if you put those same people that say he might be a lesser quarterback than Dak Prescott, you put $1 million on the line and tell them they got one drive with one quarterback. Tell them pick Dak Prescott.
Who you taking?
Right.
Call that the $1 million challenge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like everybody for challenges these days.
That's how you needed to rank your quarterbacks is who, because how many NFL games do you see come down to that last drive? And it all depends on if that quarterback that your team spent money on can score in a minute and a half or not.
Yeah. And then like another level, do you need 3 or do you need 7? You know what I'm saying? That's another level. So, but no, I think, in part of what's going to make Tom pretty good this week is because we don't know what the Cowboys defense is going to do. What does that Dan Quinn defense look like? Yeah,
bad until proven good. You know what I mean? So they might have some hope. They might be on the up and up with Mr. Parsons and some other additions they made, but they're still a bad defense until proven otherwise to me. You know what I mean?
No, and that what is it? Prove it to me. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And talking about storylines, I very curious to see not only Levante David and Devin White, what they're able to do coming off a Super Bowl, but I want to see what the boy Parsons. I mean, apparently they're building that defense around him. I want to see how they utilize him. Is the game too big for him? So many things, That's why
I think it's a great kickoff show, man. And I'm a little bummed. I'm going to be in Atlanta doing a show, but I'm definitely going to watch those highlights. But the only thing I can think of Tom Brady not being a productive quarterback week 1 is if this defense just does not let Dallas score and y'all just run the ball. That's the only thing. But I mean, you have y'all shown in the past that even under those circumstances, Tom's still going to get his. So I feel okay with that.
And another talking about a fantasy aspect, strictly a fantasy aspect before we move on to the next, but unless you got something else, Drew, but I got to say, listen, Ronald Jones, sneaky pick this week. I think Ronald Jones is a sneaky pick this week because just like you alluded to, Drew, everybody is expecting Tom and Dak to pass the ball all over the place. When in fact, I think that until Dallas, again, to Drew's point, hitting the nail on the head, until Dallas proves that their defense is ready to take, why not just run the ball, man? Like, Rojo is a hoss, and I think he can easily eclipse 100 yards in this game, let alone if Rojo decides to catch the ball this damn week, okay? Like, I think Rojo could really hit it out of the park. If I had him on my team, I would start him, and I don't know, to the downside, I don't know, unless Rojo just doesn't have it, I don't know what Leonard Fournette might be doing this week, just to give you a heads up.
I was going to say, if y'all find success running the ball, I could see them both doing okay. You know what I mean?
If there's success there, yeah.
So a food for thought, the Tampa Bay running backs.
Right.
Well, who's your defense this week? We'll save the stud receiver for last. Who's your defense this week?
Defense this week, honestly, sneaky good pick. Carolina Panthers, man. Carolina Panthers, their defense, based on what they showed last year, based on not knowing what Saleh is going to be able to do with Zach Wilson. It's his first week. Is the game too big for him? I don't know. I think Carolina could be primed. I think Brian Burns might. No, wait. He might be going against Becton. Ooh, Brian Burns, Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker. Ooh, the offensive line versus defensive line in this game. I'm very intrigued by. Let me get it. Hassan Reddick. Oh, baby. J.C. Horn. Oh, baby.
And I'm going to be back in Carolina for it. So I'm going to hopefully be on the TV for me.
Hey, let's go.
Well, I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers because they are up against the Detroit Lions. And that's not only a testament to, I think the 49ers defense is going to have a bounce back here, but I don't think the Detroit offense is going to do much.
Drew hit him with that finger roll layup. Yes. Oh, and not only that, but like, God, it's just so many storylines. That's the theme. That's the theme of this episode right here. But this should be a layup for the 49ers, Drew. So like, are they ready?
What if they lose
to show what that defense?
What is going to be the talk? What is going to be the talk of week 2 if the 49ers lose to Detroit?
I don't know,
that
man.
off-season drama.
Yeah. How about this? At the end of the show, at the end of this episode, we'll both give, based on everything that we just covered, what we think the best storyline is going to be going into week 2.
Okay, I like it. I like it. All right, well, it's down to the wide receiver. I'm going Atlanta Falcons, Calvin Ridley, because I don't know who's going to guard him on Philly.
Yeah, I do not know. I'll just give it because actually that was mine too. I'll pivot, but Calvin Ridley he about to go off. I think Calvin Ridley's about to go off. Sneaky Kyle Pitts. This could be a good week for him as well. Like coming out the gate, I think he'll get some volume too. But DK Metcalf, I think, eats this week. Also, I gotta say, and I got this guy in my starting lineup. I don't know how in the hell I got this player where I picked him. I gotta go with the boy Antonio Brown. I think he is a sneaky good pick for this week. Just based on what I saw from Godwin, he's gonna be a man.
Who out of those? Who do y'all put in the slot when Evans?
Well, it's Godwin.
Okay, so
Godwin
goes in slot. Okay.
Yeah, Godwin is the Larry Fitzgerald role. You know what I'm saying? Like when Bruce said, like they moved Larry to the slot. Larry ate for years and solidified his Hall of Fame career. That's who Chris Godwin is. Mike's on the outside. And Antonio Brown is on the other outside. So if Antonio Brown is technically your third receiver, that guy, that's why I think he eats this week because they're playing off the third. They're playing the third corner.
You can only game plan for so many people. You know what I mean?
Embarrassment of riches, man.
It's ridiculous. All right, well, there's our Man Crush Sundays. It felt good to have that back. Let's move on to our matchups of the week. These are the matchups that we put a little exclamation point, a little star beside. We're gonna, because all of these are great, but we're gonna talk about two apiece that we really like. So, Shawn, who is your first matchup of the week to watch for?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way, baby. It's the week 1 game. It's the very first game. It's Buccaneers, it's Cowboys. And just strictly speaking for the Cowboys, let's go Cowboys first. I want to see if the offensive line's back. I want to see if everything that they told me Dak is ready to do is if he's able to do. Like if there's any signs of lingering injury, Tampa's going to exploit it. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about Zeke Elliott. I would be more excited about Dallas if they weren't playing the Bucs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to see if this Tampa defense is ready to stop this trio of wide receivers, bro. Like Dallas has arguably one of the better receiving cores in the league. What are they giving me? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that with Dak Prescott, who is a habitual 4,000 yard passer, you know what I'm saying? 4,000.
We always talk about Russ cooking, but Dak was cooking before he got hurt, man. Like my man was having
Dak been cooking for a long time. You know, Dak out here looking like a Michelin star chef. Okay, like Dak been cooking. So I love Dak. I love Dak. I want to see if the Cowboys, I think offensively will be in this game unless it just snowballs on them and they get one dimensional. Because if the Dallas defense comes to play, bro, then week 1 could be the very first game could be what we're talking about next week. You know what I'm saying?
If Dak, because we're not doing step up, Suds is step up candidates this week because we're going to give them a week. Let everyone get situated.
Everybody needs to step up.
But if Dallas throws the ball and throws the ball well, I can't wait to see which Tampa Bay cornerback or secondary member winds up on step up next week. Yeah.
And right now, I mean, SMB had my ire last year. This coming in the offseason, I said it was going to be Jamel Dean. I'll be honest, like, I would man crush this man every Sunday, but Carlton Davis is my fucking guy. I love me some Carlton Davis, okay? Yeah. But listen, grave diggers, y'all better show up.
You heard it. The secondary, they better be there. Well, good, man. That's a great matchup. My first matchup of the week is two just NFC Titans. We've seen them in the playoffs going head to head the last few years. It's the Packers versus the new look Saints.
Ooh,
playing in Jacksonville. We're not in New Orleans.
So glad
we're in Jacksonville. They don't have to worry about the logistic nightmare of hats off, prayers to all of Louisiana that's going through all that right now. But New Orleans got a lot of questions, man, and I can't wait to see how they play out, good or bad. Because as a Panthers fan, I really don't care if they're bad. You know what I mean?
Actually, right.
But Jameis Winston is the quarterback. Still got the coach there. Still got Kamara in the backfield. Still got Slant. Oh, that's right, Slant Boy's not there.
No Slant Boy.
But the Swiss Army knife Taysom Hill's going to find his way on the field somewhere. And I mean, they've got a pretty good defense. But as I've said before, and I'll say this again, I'm doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. I think Aaron Rodgers goes off this year. So I want to see who, like, this could just be a shootout, man. And I'm all for it.
It could be. And like, as soon as you said that, like, I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was right there with you. And immediately I went back to, oh shit, Jameis Winston is in this shootout as well. And the reason why I say that is because
my man can sling the football.
He can, but this is what I'm saying. And I've seen it all too much as a Bucs fan. If he gets into these games trying to keep up, Saints fans could instantly see what their worst case scenario could be, because you can get good Jameis throwing 5 TDs at the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? Or you can get Jameis trying to keep up with Aaron Rodgers, who you know is ready to sling it, and he could throw 2 or 3 picks. So this could be the arc. This could be the whole arc in this one game for Jameis Winston.
I think we get to see a lot of where both these teams are going to land in the NFC hierarchy. You know what I mean? So that's what's, very compelling to me is, are the Packers that true contender to Tampa Bay, or how far are the Saints going to fall, if they fall at all? You know what I mean? So I think it's a very good matchup. A lot of questions get answered, and like I said, I hope it's like 45 to like 42. Like
I hope so. That's just perfect. It's best case scenario. You know.
All right. Well, my second matchup, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at Buffalo Bills.
Great matchup, man.
Changing of the guard here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, Pittsburgh's been the super villain of the AFC. Now the Bills are kind of taking over that hierarchy.
Right.
This could be the start of Josh Allen's MVP campaign. You know what I mean? So like, this could be the very first building block in his best season to date. I want to know what the Steelers offense looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see who's going to be catching the ball for them. Is Ebron still a red zone threat? Is Claypool going to keep putting up the production that we saw in his rookie year? And then, I mean, now that new layer of, is TJ Watt even going to be on the field? Like, that blows my mind that might not be a thing.
It really is, man.
They could be in trouble.
Yeah. And I like, are they going? Well, one, I think we immediately get to see the storyline of the offensive line of the Steelers. How are they going to hold up versus, is Buffalo going to have a pass rush this year? I mean, like, if they're going, one of those things has to give. We got to figure that out. I definitely think Josh Allen could be well on his way to an MVP type season. It starts here against what was supposed to be a pretty good defense. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, I wonder how that shakes out. Who's home in this matchup? Who's Buffalo. Home in this matchup? Is it
Bills Mafia? Bills Mafia jumping through tables on Sunday, man.
They about to go crazy.
Because also another layer to this matchup to watch is, I want to see if Buffalo gets a running game started.
True. That's very true. That's another question that Buffalo needed to answer last year, and arguably part of their downfall. But if they have that, I think it puts them over the top, and it takes something else off Josh Allen's plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't have to do it all. I want him to do it all. He can do it all, but he shouldn't have to.
He showed last year. I mean, don't get me wrong. He had a very solid partner in crime in Stephon Diggs last year, but you're right. He can't be their sole running game.
Right. And I'm like, believe me, I'm all in on Josh Allen, because as soon as Stephon Diggs was ready for me to pick him, he was right there, and he was my number one wide receiver. Ready to go. I was not going to pass that man up. I was like, nope, saw too much last year. Let's go. Okay.
I think you were 2 picks before me. And
no, I don't even want to get started. Go back and I'm telling you, go back and watch our fantasy episode last year, or last year too, but this year as well, because both Matt and Drew I could tell when they were picking because the picks were just too spot on. Like I was like, that has to be Drew. Has to be Drew. Because it was somebody that I would pick. And then like Matt would pick before me as well. And it'd be somebody that Matt was the one who took Ronald Jones from me. God damn it.
Matt said don't draft OBJ.
Neither one of us did.
OBJ.
Did you?
Matt did.
Oh, we gonna see how that turns out. Right. I can't say anything. I drafted Slant Boy. And this is in like 14th round or something like that. Crazy.
I got Sony Michel in like the 13th round.
Yeah. And he's gonna get volumes. I want to see how it's gonna shake out.
I got a beef with Yahoo. They yelled at me for taking Gus Edwards too early. And I was like, are you not forgetting that he's the only running back on the roster right now? Like, what do you mean too early? I could have taken that dude first number one and all. It could have been justified.
Yeah. Yeah, you can make a case. A
little side note that I forgot in housekeeping, Baltimore did work out Gurley and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
We'll see if any of those stick in Baltimore. I would like to see Le'Veon Bell in Baltimore, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to see if he still has it because he didn't play last, or did he play? No, he sat.
He didn't cheat. Yeah, Andy Reid didn't do it. Yeah. I don't know why Kansas City scoops up these veteran running backs. They finally just rolled with the team they got this year, but they were the last few years picked up these McCoy didn't play him. They pick up Bell, don't play him.
But this is the thing I think that we talk about all the time, but we can't never underestimate the level of petty in this league because it's fantasy rules. I'm just gonna pick you up and sit you so nobody else will have you.
Yeah. Forgetting that the coaches were the first fantasy players. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Well, who's your second matchup of the week?
All right, so my second matchup of the week, there are some good ones. But honestly, I gotta go Seahawks Colts. The easy matchup to pick, obviously, and we'll touch on it here in a minute between the two of us. But Browns and Chiefs, we have to mention because of how large it looms for both teams. But these are two teams that I think will be there. Two teams who I think will be in the fight way more so than the Browns and the Chiefs are the Seahawks and the Colts. A lot of people, I'd say it seems like it's split down the middle. I am on the side that thinks the Seahawks aren't going to be as good this year. And the Colts, with all their injury issues and Carson Wentz issues and all the questions surrounding them.
The Carson Wentz issues. That's the best way.
That's basically what it is. He just comes with a bag. Comes with a bag. He's a bag man. But I want to see one thing I'm not worried about, Colts running game. I'm not worried about the running game between Nyheim Hines and our boy, the fan favorite of the show, John Taylor. Wish I'd have picked his ass.
JTT.
Yeah. But Michael Pittman now has to be the guy. So I want to see. I know Seattle's probably going to focus on him in the passing game. Is he able to overcome that? I want to see if the Seattle defense is up to the task. I want to see. Is there turmoil going on the sidelines if things don't start to go right with Lil Russie and the coach, khaki wearing Pete Carroll, baby? I want to see
87-year-old Pete Carroll.
Right, he 45, Silver Fox. Say it is there somebody who's going to jump out of the running game of Seattle? Like Drew, is so many questions that I need to have answered. I'm not worried about the Seattle receivers. Not
going through, man. Like looking back on our preview shows with each division, man. There's a lot of teams that don't necessarily have established run games. That's very interesting.
Okay, so answer me this, Drew. Like you jarred a question in my head. Have we gotten to a point where, because there are a lot of teams that don't have established runners, have we gotten to a point where now running back by committee may not be the way and you need a dynamic guy? Yeah.
I think it definitely works better for different teams. You know what I mean? Like I think the running back committee worked great in Baltimore. You know what I mean? But like even eventually you got to pay somebody. And you don't want to pay him, and then you don't get the proper young guy in to replace that veteran you're losing. Like because last year, for instance, Baltimore had Big Truss Mark Ingram. They had Gus Edwards, and they had Dobbins, and they used all three of them.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd say like 60, 30, 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this year they were going to go to like 70, 30 with Dobbins and Edwards, but they didn't get a younger guy to replace Ingram. You know what I mean? So like they didn't want to pay Ingram, but they also didn't replenish his numbers in the backfield. So I think it's going to vary on that. You know what I mean? Because I think a team like Denver, for instance, has they brought in a young guy, but they also very much so are going to lean on Melvin Gordon. So I think if you have a chance, I think it's the goal is to have more than running back that you can rely on and you're excited about. Especially we see all the injuries. Good God. But I think sometimes it just doesn't fall in your lap, and you got to lean harder on one guy.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, and it brings in more questions because now, like, I think if your scheme is A1, then yes, you can have a running back by committee because a la San Francisco, but and Baltimore for that instance. But like, if you don't have, if the scheme doesn't call for it and then you try running back by committee, now you're getting into the question of, okay, well, how much do I play this guy? You got to worry about touches, numbers, stuff like that. Whereas if your scheme isn't that great and you just have one dynamic guy, all right, I can do whatever I need him to do. Let's go.
Right.
You know
I definitely think it has to happen organically.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whether you're a one guy, top guy running back team or you're a committee, I think you just got to put in what works. Like, because those years the 49ers just played, you know, Mostert and Coleman, and you know, it worked. And, you know, each running back brought something different to the table. So you had these set of packages and these set of plays for this guy. You had the same thing for this guy. So I think it depends on your offensive coordinator, how creative he wants to get, you know what I mean? How many schemes and plays he wants to come up with for each guy. But I definitely can see out of necessity with the injury bug, you know, one way or the other. Yeah,
I'm with you. So I don't know. I had to ask that question.
That was a great question. It had me thinking because I definitely didn't know about
it. Yeah.
I didn't Seahawks
and Seahawks Colts, man, good matchup. Cowboys Bucks. Drew had Bills Steelers and Packers and Saints, which is I'm very intrigued by that matchup. I think you sold me. And I'm gonna get with you off the air. About watching the games and stuff like that because I got a little trick of the trade.
Nice.
Yeah. But
we do need to talk about that one though. We do need to talk about Cleveland and
definitely
and KC, because I got a fun little stat, man, that I saw today. Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose in September. So that's
they really don't.
Dude, he's got a 32-0 TD to INT ratio for the month of September.
Man, that's crazy.
He's undefeated in his career in September. He throws nothing but touchdowns.
The only thing that makes me think of is Andy Reid is scheming his ass off for the first four teams during the, you know, knowing what he's getting. And two, he's due for a loss. Like, he's got to be due for a loss. You know, and this might be it, bro. This Cleveland team, I think they're up for it. And if this game was week 2 or 3, I think Chiefs. Week 1, I'm thinking Browns, bro.
Think the Browns can catch them off guard in the first week. All right, man. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. I disagree. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think at the end of the game, Baker's going to go down. Here, I'm calling it right now. Baker's going to go down and score a go-ahead touchdown with like 2 minutes left.
Ooh,
but then everyone's going to be like, you gave Patty too much time.
Yeah.
And he's going to go down and score. I think it's definitely going to come down to who has the ball at the end of the game.
I mean,
it could. Story, Shawn. I got to have my story.
I know. I think it could come down to it. I think it probably does, but it winds up being like a 10-point game just due to like 10, 14-point game just due to a late score and that's it. But I just want to I want to know how it's going to turn out. Like I want to watch the game, but I want to know what happens. Like does Chubb and Hunt go off, or like does Tyreek Hill wind up just being too much for the secondary? Like I don't think that's going to happen, but I just, there's so many ways that this game can go, which is why it arguably should be the game of the week. And it is the 425 game. I get it. But if they flex the week 1 game, I would not be unhappy with that. You know what I'm saying? Put it on prime time, man.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Well, it's last year we had such a fun time with our locks. Each week, me and Shawn are gonna guarantee a winner and guarantee a loser, and we will keep tabs of mine and his record the entire year. And it came down to the Super Bowl. We were tied neck and neck going into the Super Bowl. He picked the champ. I picked the not champ. But he won.
And the champ is here.
So we got our locks guaranteed to lose this week. Shawn, who do you have?
Guaranteed to lose. Guaranteed to lose. I forgot we do them this way. I was picking 2 winners. No, I'm ready. Don't catch me off guard, Drew. I'm ready. Damn it. Going for the Raiders are guaranteed to lose this week. The Raiders. Drew, what is happening Ravens, huh? In Las Vegas, man? Raiders Twitter is mad. Like,
whose head do they want on the platter?
Bro, they cut Tanner Muse, which was like their 3rd round pick, and like they're like, who is going to be the scapegoat here? Like when this goes bad, Gruden. And it's looking like it's going to go bad.
Gruden.
Man.
We talk about it all the time, man. My man ain't gonna make it 10 years.
We do. I will say that, like, of course, that nobody gave credit to the Nickel and Dime football show, but like we asked the question whether or not, if this year goes bad, whether Gruden was going to be fired. And I just saw that article go national with them asking that question. You got it here first. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead.
That's all I'm saying.
Button.
Yep.
All right. Well, my guaranteed to lose this week, and it hurts me to say this because I do have them doing pretty well this year. I just think they get caught off guard. I got the old football team losing to the Chargers.
Ooh.
Week 1.
Man, yeah, that's right. You and Matt was high on them Chargers, man. I don't know.
I got the Chargers. I got Justin Herbert, best in Fitzmagic, week 1.
All right. Man, that's another. And Logan Thomas is my tight end. I think he's having a stinky good year too. I'm curious to see. I'm watching that game because like my tight end position is the one I'm like, I don't know. Let's see what Logan Thomas does. That's, you know what I'm saying? So
I just got curious. Waller early on and said screw it.
Right.
But then again, if we're talking things fall apart in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, man. We knew from the start that things fall apart. They tend to shatter. Black Thought, the Roots. So who I got guaranteed to win?
Yeah, who you got guaranteed to win?
Oh man, I'm guaranteed to win. I'm tempted. I had this other team, but like guaranteed to win. I got to do it. My gut and my heart's telling me to do it right now. It's got to be the Green Bay Packers over the New Orleans Saints. I got to go guaranteed to win, man. Hey, Ron. Come on, baby. Don't make me look like a fool, Ron.
Hey, he ain't gonna let you down, man. He ain't gonna let you down. So. Like my fantasy team name says, it's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. We're just living in it.
We just living in it. And rent's cheap. He's a nice guy, apparently.
My guaranteed to win this week. They're saying they ain't done yet in the AFC East. New quarterback. Who this? We got Mac Attack.
Oh,
Tua and Miami in week.
Wow.
Dolphins.
I wasn't even thinking about that, man. Like I was like, Patriots, Dolphins it's going to be a good game, because of what the Dolphins have and what the Patriots are bringing to the table now, I completely forgot about Mac Jones. So that means he's getting his first dub. Mac Jones. Oh, RIP Cam. Can't call him mac and cheese no more.
I know, that's why I went Mac Attack. I didn't want to disrespect you like that.
Oh man,
because I had to drop the mac and cheese, and Susan Cam wasn't there no more.
Yeah.
I hope someone at camp that next week, or like the next day, someone walked up to Mac Jones like, mac and cheese, and he's like, no, it's not mac and cheese anymore. You respect that man.
You respect him. Flowers.
Nice. You know? Well, before we get out of here, man, I got a Stump Sudsy. This is another segment we did a lot of last year, where I got a trivia question. We usually try to gear it towards Bucks trivia, because I don't know if you've heard this or not, but my co-host Shawn Sudler is a Bucks fan.
Yeah, just a little one.
So this Stump Sudsy this week, I got Jameis is the New Orleans starter. He threw 30 INTs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2019. That, however, is not the most interceptions thrown by a Tampa Bay quarterback in a single season. Who is number one on that list?
I want to say Vinny Testaverde.
Boom. Got it. His second year with the team, he threw 35 picks in 19.
Yeah. Vinny was throwing them picks, man. Oof. Vinny was throwing them.
Ooh, he had a great career, though, man. My man played.
Yeah, he did. He did. That was probably part of the reason we got rid of him. But, like, had they stayed the course, I think they probably would have been happy with what they got, considering.
I'm going to double down real quick because we were supposed to have our buddy Chris Mara with us today, but timing got messed up. But we'll have him back later this week. So I'm going to throw you his Giants-related trivia question and see if you can
Nice.
Which linebacker ranks number one in total tackles the last 3 seasons combined?
Linebacker. Ooh. Who? No, okay, so I'm imagining that it's a Giants-related player. Last 3 seasons, so he's gonna be. Oh, what? Why am I thinking Milano? No, it's not Milano. Who is God? It's like right on tip of my tongue, but like Matt Milano is who I'm thinking of, but I know it's not Matt Milano because he plays for the Bills. You know what I'm saying? But like I cannot think of this guy's name. All right, I'm not gonna think of it. Who is it?
Blake Martinez.
I knew it. I wanted to just say it was a white linebacker. I knew it was a white linebacker. God damn it! And I could not think of his name.
When you were saying Milano, I was like, "Oh man, he is right there."
Right, and I had it. I had it. My man Blake. God damn.
That was pretty.
That is not an indictment of white linebackers.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was number one for total tackles the last 3 years. Good for him.
Damn, I mean, like he's the tackling machine. Like that's not been the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always there. I think they just want him to be able to, intercept and like all the other stuff aside from tackles. But that's never been a question with Blake Martinez. Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, cool.
Damn it, Matt Milano messing this up.
Well, week 1, nickel and dime in the books. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tune in with us next week. We'll get into more stuff. We'll gradually start bringing in more segments from last year. And we got a little bit different format this year. We're gonna have guests throughout. People that have been fans of the podcast and just friends of ours that are also football fans. You'll probably recognize a couple of them from my team updates. Which, by the way, get those in. We haven't got any submissions for this new season yet, so send us some
after
in.
week 1. We want to know.
I want to know. Shawn, where can they find you on the social media?
Of course, man. At the Kid Suds on Twitter, at nickel_dom FB on Twitter as well, and the illustrious at nickel_dom football on IG. Drew, what about you, bro?
As always, check everything out on drewharrisoncomedy.com. We're on the road, so if we're in a city near you, come see a show. Instagram at Laugh with Harrison. We got football.
Let's do it.